doesn't happen.
It'll be months before then. We have plenty of... It's not a question of time, but it's useful to know these just in terms of the logistics involved.
Yes.
And if we don't convince them to stop, if we can't figure out a way, should we be informing the other areas, the Dukes, etc.?
Good morning. It's not now Thursday morning.
We may have to go.
Well, it's time to go to work.
Absolutely agreed. And even if we are, this could be orders from high up.
I have considered, on that note, Rhea, I could draft a letter that could be signed by Wilhelm, by Pluto, by Saul Jackson, by yourself, that could be then dispatched out to the lords to formally ask for their presence.
It's worth considering. They don't know what's going on yet. This is so new that we might have support when we didn't think we did before, and maybe coming up behind the
It will also invite more enemies. Until now, the Dukes in Todsfeld and Dransmund have been reluctant to send any form of military support. Beyond what they had committed to the Hooded Lanterns already. Both the Dukes of Todsfeld and Dransmund and Oldbrook, many of the Dukes fancy themselves as petty kings in their own right. If Westermar disintegrates without a king, without a monarch, the Dukes will be the most powerful ones in their respective nation. They won't have anyone to answer to. So they do have something to gain from the kingdom just falling apart.
We talked a little while ago with the Duke of Todsfeld, and he seemed, at the time, rather to have some disdain towards the Von Kessel name.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yes, I will have to say that was one of the harder times to keep my mouth shut during our adventure.
Him and your father did not get along well, and he sided with your aunt during the war.
I can see that.
Well, but we can declare you, we can send the summons out, and we can even demand that if you want to, we can demand the Dukes be present for your coronation.
The hard part is getting all of the Dukes into the heart of Drakkenheim. That seems like a dangerous play.
They probably won't, but we could at least ask them to send representatives. Indeed. That's the key. Now, if he's setting out on this trek, we've got a lot of messages to send and a lot of travel ahead of us. Is there anything you want to do before we leave?
No, I think I'm ready to go.
All right. I'll gather up the retinue and we'll be on our way.
Pluto, Veo, anything you need to address before we set out?
I want to invoke the Lord Commander Seal to protect us on our journey before we go.
Okay. It'll be a journey of 3 weeks, so you know you got quite a lot of travel ahead.
Okay. I'll hold up. When we get close, I'll make sure we're protected. That's the Lord Commander.
You can do like every day, can't you?
I can use it every day until once I use it, I can't be used till next dawn. But technically, the hit points don't go away.
How many hit points does it give?
Temporary hit points do go away when you take a long rest.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that,
I might maybe Pluto's just gonna, or at least talk to his dad.
yeah.
And you can be there. Theo. You said you knew my father.
I know him by name.
You know of him or know him. But he's here. And he has a big stake in this as well.
I think he was at that big meeting that we had when we first arrived.
Yeah.
I think.
you've met him.
Yeah.
You've seen him. He's you can't miss him.
Yes, he's towering and intimidating and very
He's
loud.
a big rascal.
Big arms.
Yes.
Big as Mike.
Yes.
Bigger.
You can spend an evening chatting with your father. Saul, of course, the magnanimous man that he is, and is always seen in his armor with his big beard. Well, my boy, what is it that you need before you send off? This is an interesting trek that you put our family on.
I did it for us. You know, I came here to hold up the Jackson name above Draken.
And we're going to negotiate for peace. There won't be too many opportunities for us to win glory in battle, if that's going to be the case.
I feel like we have to make a tactical decision. I once had to surrender to a giant teeth beast with tiny little arms named Big Linda, and it was but it meant that eventually I could become big. It's a long story, but the point is you know, I'm learning to govern and do what's necessary, and this is necessary.
Pluto, my boy, just remember this.
Okay.
That Wilhelm is a good man, but he's not your superior. He is your equal. You are a prince of Caspian, one of the heirs of the great Rex Caspian, scion of House Jackson. You are of royal blood. Don't forget that. And when you go to meet with the Illyrians, you're not just representing, you're not representing Westermar. You are representing the interests of our house, the interests of Caspian. That's an important thing.
What do you think of the decree from the High King? We need to recover from this. I feel like this is the best way. I feel like they have us cornered.
We are the closest to winning the Kingswood that our house has ever been. I feel it. I mean, you can't lose 300 times in a row. So you can't lose every single time for 300 years. House Joplin's strong. They won it a lot. But it's House Jackson's strong. If we can secure this, look at all the monsters that you've slain. You'll have that vote for sure. Look at all the treasure that we've brought back. Look at all the battles that we've won. We have so much going for us this time.
Is there remind me, you know, greatest peace talks, biggest peace talks, is that on the table? Or
No.
some kind of diplomat? Yeah,
No, that's not on the table. But this next Kingswood does have the
locked in.
right? If we can get at least some of the money that we invested in this back as treasure, hey, there's another one. You have that Blade Ignatius, best magic sword.
Best magic sword. This thing talks, it screams at
It's
you.
definitely the best magic sword.
Yeah. This thing, I killed.
We'll definitely get that. Yeah, probably.
It's like, I shouldn't probably lord them.
You know, one of the other ones that I'm just not sure. You know, there's another one that's this best mount. You have any ideas on that one?
Do I have to ride it consistently, or is it like maybe one kind of thing? Because I've probably ridden some.
You definitely need to show it off to the kids.
When we met at Unicorn,
You've got to remember, Kingsman is next year. All the houses of Caspian gather to vote on who will be, which house will be the next High King. The way that it works is very, very simple. Every house gets one vote, but every house gets 2 votes because this is Caspian, and we get twice of everything. But vote number 2, you have to vote for whoever meets the challenge that you gave at the last Kingsman. Now, our challenge is that whoever can kill the biggest monster before the Kingsman will get our house's vote. So, we got that one secured.
I got like demons and giant delirium monsters and
We'll get it. We'll get it. We're close. We can do this.
and I know you're explaining this not to me but to Will and Mayo.
I'm well versed in the Kingsman. Again, history. I've read a lot of history books.
I'm learning so much about your politics. Are you gonna be king?
No, I'll be the king. I'm the head of House Jackson. It'll be me that gets the title, but of course, that means that Pluto will be my prince, as one of although he is one of my many children, certainly one of the more accomplished.
By proxy, I will know 2 kings.
Yes, and we will restore the name of House Jackson. We will reclaim. We'll take the place of High King. 100 years.
Very good. Well, good luck. Good luck at this peace meeting.
It's
No.
more of a negotiation instead of a peace meeting.
And if the Illyrians do challenge you to any duels, go for a Caspian duel this time.
Yeah. It's just like Caspian's just not a barrier. Just not good.
Do you know what happened, of course, the last time we had a meeting like this? And this is one thing to be careful of.
Fine.
Many years ago, there were High King Oberyn Joplin won the King's Moot. I think it was probably the 11th or 12th of House Joplin to win the King's Moot. But there was a problem. You see, Oberyn Joplin, everyone loved him. He was a great duelist. Every style. He could do a Caspian duel, he could do an Illyrian duel, he could do them all. It was really great. You see, the thing was, he could sing. And when he sang, it was magic in what he could do. Now, of course, in Caspian, we've got a great tradition of Caspian bards. But this was the first time our High King was a Caspian bard. And the Illyrians said, well, Oberyn Joplin Mageborn. A bard isn't a Mageborn. That doesn't count. Of course not. Well, long and short of it is that the last time there was a meeting involving a Caspian and Lyrian, they sent the delegation from the Silver Order, and the Grand Paladin of the Silver Order was there, and the Grand Paladin and High King Ober and Joplin, well, they had a duel, and the Grand Paladin killed him. And that's what started the War of the Sword. That's 30 months. It's a long war, a lot of duels. Good war, though. Not sure who won. But just be careful, because the last time there was a peace meeting that involved the Caspian and Lyrian, there was a duel. It set off another 10 years of war, so just try not to repeat those mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yes, we don't know who won that one, right? We're not.
Well, we won, but the Caspians say they won. We say we won, the Illyrians say they won. We won.
I mean,
You may want to not let me
Really rethinking you coming.
Kabelgata 39.
Greit, Frognerseteren bruk, Kabelgata 39, Oslo.
Pluto,
Maybe I should
if...
just sit in the back.
No, Pluto, the way that this works is if they challenge you to a duel, you have the right to announce a Caspian duel instead. A Caspian duel is going to be much safer. Nobody will die in a Caspian duel.
Kabelgata 39C. Nei.
Right?
Oh,
It is-
people die all the time in Caspian duels. They get eaten by the monster.
Kabelgata 39C.
Go at this lane. I would,
Their own fault.
that's
They're
part of the
usually
fun. I would
Due to
say.
the
True. So far, our ratio of killing monsters has generally been better from what I hear.
I don't die when I fight monsters.
Pluto, I hear you've killed a troll?
That's amazing. I've killed a bridge full of trolls. You know, I measure.
Is that a unit of measurement?
If you end up in a Caspian duel with the Illyrians, kill something bigger than a troll. That's all I can say.
I mean,
It just so happens I fought a Hydra once, and I came out of that alive. That's a true story.
that's
Pluto,
impressive.
have you ever fought a Hydra?
I've fought 30 snakes, which is like that's like harder than a Hydra because there's just lots of snakes. There was a 1,000 snakes. There's a lot of snakes, and what I'm trying to say is that yeah, I've killed something bigger than a Hydra. I told you this.
Sure you, yeah. I'm
Demon.
sure.
There was a demon that we just
Demon.
went in and just murdered.
Right.
It was like a named demon. I took this plate that's used to use it for eating off of. It turns out it's like a shield of a great paladin. He's dead. I'm not. Let's do it.
Saul, are you sure that Pluto's capable of political negotiation?
Of course, he's my son. I'm a great political negotiator. It only follows that he would be too.
Yeah.
That was my assumption, yes.
Logic.
Look, also, you need me at that table because I have Ignatius. Yeah, that's what I bring to the table. And Ignatius listens to me, and I listen to Ignatius. And Ignatius needs me at that table.
True. I accept this.
There's something to be said for making amends. Even though it was in an honorable Illyrian style duel, you did kill Theodore Marshall, and he was an honorable man.
I don't feel great about that.
I mean, I think it's amazing. amazing, personally. Theodore Marshall was a legendary swordsman. You should be very proud of yourself for defeating him.
I wish to defeat, and I came here to drop a knife to kill monsters. And
Actually, probably we might get a house vote on that one alone.
well, then yeah, maybe no regrets. But
If
I
the
still think I
Illyrians,
came here to kill monsters, not men. And I came here to win the king's moot. And if we're gonna keep Drakenheim, if it's gonna be an ally of Caspia's, then we can't have the Illyrians marching on and destroying it. So we gotta put a stop to this.
Well,
If the Illyrians do bring up the former problematic fight, it sounded like we could pin it on that Sebastian fella. You fought fairly in a duel. It was Sebastian who was the problem. He murdered an entire regiment.
I mean, they were coming at him. He only has.
the first move.
I'm just saying that if they throw blame at Pluto, the blame can be split and we can maybe use that to persuade them otherwise.
No, we don't throw.
We won't throw him
Sebastian
under the bus.
No,
I mean, I also
under
don't
the
want them
carriage.
asking for Sebastian's head.
Under the carriage.
He's, Wilhelm, when we sit down with this, we'll have to make some choices, but what happened on that battlefield that day happened, and I've grown a lot. I've killed a lot more monsters, and I've had a lot of time to think about killing more monsters, so really they have to acknowledge that what's fair is fair.
Pluto, I don't want to throw you or Sebastian under the carriage. So I just want to bring this up out of concern. What if in order to make amends they asked for you and Sebastian's head? What if they ask for an eye for an eye?
that would be an unreasonable demand. And if they ask for that, they'll get blood.
Yeah, we fight them.
Then I suppose that's a possibility we need to be prepared for as well.
And this is where I believe that we must decide who we negotiate with. Because if we're negotiating with the Illyrian, the Illyrians have it out for me. They have it out for us. But if we're talking to the rank and file, they understand what's going on.
And not all the Illyrians do. There's a reason why we're going this route is because Ophelia is there. And she is one that is trustworthy.
But we will,
True.
Elias Joseph, we will have to reckon with the Grand Paladin. We will have to eventually. I would not be surprised, to be perfectly honest, Veo, I would not be surprised if, to ensure a lasting peace, perhaps this will come after the coronation, but Wilhelm will almost most certainly need to travel to Lumen and meet with the Divine Matriarch, personally. There's simply no way that we can assure a lasting peace given the circumstances without a meeting between the highest, perhaps even representatives of the Illyrian Parliament. There's just no way that we'll be able to secure peace. This will be first steps, but the order to invade came from the Divine Matriarch herself, and so that she ultimately is the one that will make the final call. And if we can't negotiate with the Silver Order on a ceasefire, then we will not be able to. If we get the Silver Order to agree to stop, then we'll have to meet with the Divine Matriarch. It's not as simple as that. Not anymore.
I feel like I should have known that, but that is an intimidating. Yep, that's something I'm going to have to warm up for. I'm going to need to work on my inspiring speech